used his ammo and went out, and they could have arrested him. They had him totally surrounded, and it's a joke. The whole thing is nothing but a pack of lies from a pack of gangsters who call themselves government agents. That's what you got in ATF.
What's your
FBI? You got a pack of assassins.
What do you think? I believe you're making some friends tonight, Gordon.
Well, you know what's sad is there's some good federal law enforcement officers. There's a whole bunch of them over at DEA, bunch of them over at Customs, bunch of them over at Secret Service, bunch at CIA. I've never met an honorable man in the FBI or on ATF I met one. His name was Mike Hall, and he hired the 3 guys that got killed at Waco. He was one of my closest friends. And he and I got involved in Waco 3 weeks before the raid, and that's well known. So what I'm saying to you, we knew it was coming, and Mike was an honorable man, based on everything I know about him. But I'm 61, and I've been tilting around in the intelligence and law enforcement business for a long time, and I got to truthfully tell you, I've never met an honorable FBI agent. Never.
What do you think about, of course, you know Bob Ricks, and Bob Ricks now is director of the Oklahoma Highway Patrol. What's your thoughts on him?
Liar, just a massive liar, deceiver, spin artist. I don't know, what else can I say about him? Oh my God, they're burning themselves to death as we run our main battle tanks through their church.
You know, he's made statements since then, Gordon, saying that he only delivered the message that he received from the commanders in the field as an information officer and had no knowledge of any wrongdoing. And
well, that's what that's what those guys said at Nuremberg, too, isn't it?
Well, true.
I was just following orders. I was just in the chain of command. I had nothing to do with murdering all them people. I was just there, stoking the fires and pouring the gas. Well, I wasn't guilty of anything except honoring my duty to my superiors.
Do you believe that there will ever be criminal prosecution against these agents that were involved in what we now know?
Yeah, I believe it's going to happen this year.
You do believe that?
I believe if the grapevine is real, the grapevine I'm really interested in is true, and the information and intelligence that's spinning around, they're definitely planning indictments.
If that does happen, then what it's going to tell the American people that even if you are an FBI agent, ATF agent, whoever in law enforcement, that if you do wrong, that you will be held accountable. And I think that's only just that should happen. What's your thought?
They can't get away with using the semantic spin art of, it was a screw-up, or it was a foul-up, or a debacle, or it got out of control. That is BS. The government don't play like that. The government did that. The government, those individuals did it. They did it in the chain of command. Where it ended, I suspect that the big guys up on top are going to blame Rogers, and then Rogers will either commit suicide or he will rat them out, sort of like John Dean, and that would be a good description of Rogers. He will either rat him out or he will take the rap, is a good way to describe the situation, because the chain of command, the cover-ups, the government's known about these cover-ups. Reno's known about them since we filed our Form 95s when we filed that case in late 94. She knew all of these crimes had been committed, and she's done everything she could to obstruct justice and cover it up. And because she's a defendant. Well, guess what, pal? That's a crime. That's a crime.
Certainly.
She is as guilty as those guys that went to prison for 5 and 10 years pop for the crimes of obstruction of justice. She's definitely guilty of obstruction of justice. She knew it.
Do you think that Judge Walter Smith now has taken a different view of the circumstances at Waco?
I don't know whether he is sobered, chastened. or he is being thoroughly Machiavellian, which I wouldn't put past him based upon the way he delayed this case. He's delayed this case for 6 years in the course of how he's handled his case, and he's done everything he could to sever the people who are responsible from being tried by jury in a civil trial. And the way he's organized and structured the case is that he becomes the final judgment of history. And they're all, in my opinion, based upon what I believe, I wouldn't put it past all of them. That these guys are saying one thing on a telephone because they don't have to worry about anybody bugging their phones as they sit there and plot the continuing crimes. And they're just sitting there making up the games that they're playing and trying to figure out how to put the whole ball game in the judge. And the judge says, well, I'm going to dismiss this case. It's just boom, 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 right at the last point. And then what are you going to do about it? Put it on appeal to the Supremes, and they're going to sit back and say, well, we can't destroy the FBI. We can't destroy the Attorney General and put her away for obstruction of justice.